How by Hashem Yahushai Barakatham to all the brothers of Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Elatah by Hashem Yahushai. This is the ISUPK side of the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. You understand? And this is the Las Vegas Tuesday Brotherhood class. You understand? Today, it's going to be a little bit of a short class. We starting real late. So lock in. We having some technical difficulties, some real big technical difficulties. So forgive me for that. Next class, we'll just pick up from where we left off, Lord allow, and go from there. But today, what we're going over is like the title says, the other nations' idols will get you destroyed. You understand? And so we're going to get a clarification on what exactly that means in a biblical context. You understand? Because in the ISUPK, we are not like the Christian churches. You understand? We don't just say things that just makes you feel good and, say, read one little verse and then, do a whole little dance and whatnot to play off the nonsense that they thought, was making sense for whatever scripture that they had pulled. You understand? In the ISUPK, we actually make sense of what we pull out in the scriptures. You understand? There's a topic that we decide that we're going to teach on, and then we build around that topic with what the Lord says. You understand? Nothing about what makes you feel good or what makes me feel good or anybody feel good. We build our topics based off of what the Most High God says. You understand? Us like our topics are built with what the with the midst of what the Lord says around it. So like, you understand? And especially with what's going on today, what is this? March 1st now, March 1st, 2022. You understand? With Ukraine and Russia and whatnot, man, this is high time for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to awaken from their sleep. You understand? And come into this truth. Come under this banner. You understand? Under Commander Johanna in the ISUPK so that you can actually serve the Lord. You understand? So like it. You understand? So that you can actually serve the Lord. And as we read, as we go over these scriptures, what the Lord says, what the Lord had ordained, you will see that if you do anything else but what the Lord says, you, your loved ones, your children, it doesn't matter. Anybody that is involved in anything but what the Lord said to do, you will be destroyed. There is no help. There is no hope for those individuals to get any type of salvation. You understand? Salvation is reserved for those that love the Most High God. You understand? Those that serve the Most High God willingly. You understand? And we're going to go over that. Lord allow, we got the time. I'm going to go a little bit over 9 o'clock just to go over these scriptures. But you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do the best I can to get as much of this as possible tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that y'all can get this understanding. All right. So first, we're going to start off at the book of Psalms, chapter 96 and verse 5. And this is going right off of what I just said, talking about serving the other nations. You understand? When you serve the other nations, you are serving their gods, but are just nothing more than idols. You understand? Putting a stupid ass cross, like it for my language, a stupid cross around your neck. It's stupid. It's an idol. You might as well just put Jay-Z around your neck, because that Jay-Z necklace, it means absolutely nothing. You understand? So we're going to read it. It says, the book of Psalms, chapter 96 and verse, what did I say? Verse 5. So like it. For all the gods of the nations are idols. So all the gods of the other nations, they're just idols. They're pointless. They're meaningless. They give no power. You understand? They give absolutely no power. They give as much power to you if you were to serve, be a part of the LGBTQ. Oh yeah, when if you are homosexual, what have you, homosexual, lesbian, a transgender, and all the other gender crap that they come up with, if you fall under that topic, that criteria, and you associate with the LGBTQ, the LGBTQ is very empowering. It empowers you, makes you feel good about what you are doing. It feels good about what you being a homosexual and you getting your rod cut off or getting a rod put on you. You understand? It feels empowering to do that. But at the end of the day, man, what you're doing is an abomination to the Lord. You understand? It's disgusting. The Most High God hates that. You understand? The Most High God hates that. And I pray that you understand that. So it's the same thing when you sitting there trying to be a Muslim, or you trying to be Hindu, or you trying to be any of them African booty scratching ass, countries that is in African or in Africa. If you trying to be like any of those other countries, man, you are committing an abomination. And yes, Christianity is a part of that abomination as well. You understand? When you are being a part of Christianity where they completely, just to put it simply, Christianity is a whitewashed version of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' history. You understand? They whitewashed our history and called it their own. They whitewashed our Messiah and said that is their own. You understand? So when you follow Christianity, when you follow that way of the oppressor and, follow that whitewash, you following, again, an abomination. You understand? You following an idol. Because let's be honest, what white boy do you know that would actually be willing to die for everybody? And a lot of them cats in the military, they say my country, my family. And what they really saying is my people. You understand? And I've been there, done that. I know what the hell they fighting for. They don't give a damn about anything but themselves and they own. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You understand? The only thing that's wrong with that is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't have that mindset because we want to die for everybody else. You understand? We want to fight everybody else's wars and win them for them, but have no love and compassion for our own. You understand? And all of that comes from the fact that, again, I'm going to read that from the top. For all the gods of the nations are idols. Understand, again, like I said, an idol, worshiping another god is an abomination. You understand? So having an idol, a pointless idol, is an abomination. So you serving, are you fighting for those other nations? That's an abomination, man. That pisses off the most, that turns the Most High God to wrath. You understand? Read it on. But the Lord made the heavens. But the Most High God, He is the one who made the heavens. You think what? Think of it like this. When you think about the heavens of what the I don't know. All right, take for example, since we were talking about, the so-called white man, what their heaven is like. Man, they got naked white babies floating around with a harp. Man, I'm sorry. The only person that should see my child's nakedness, my little 4-month-old child's nakedness, is myself and my wife. You understand? And his mother. And if we got a babysitter or whatever, okay. But obviously, that's somebody that I trust. You understand? That's the only one. His nakedness is not for everybody to see. You understand? Because once he's old enough, I don't want everybody. You shouldn't, as a parent, you shouldn't want everybody to know what your child, the birthmarks and whatnot that your child has, whatever deformities your child may have within his nakedness. You understand? And that's not saying that my child has deformities, but you understand what I'm saying. His nakedness is for him. Right now, I'm just doing him a service because he can't wipe his own ass. He can't change his own clothes. So I gotta do it. You understand? His mother has to do it. That goes for every parent. But as soon as that child becomes old enough, man, you're doing this on your own. You understand? But the white heaven, man, they got, you know, supposedly somebody's baby is floating around the clouds, butt ass naked, for the entire, for all of the people to see, for everyone to see. Oh, you're not changing my diaper, but go ahead, you can see my willy. Oh, you just over there just posted up, you can see my ass. No. You understand? And just think about how sick and disgusting that is. And then the crazy part is when you look at the history of our oppressor, of what he's always done and how he's always tied to pedophilia, it only makes sense. That is his heaven, to have little white babies floating around, with, playing great music, just seductive music that just makes you feel cheer and joy, while the old white dudes is looking at them. You understand? You see how disgusting that is? Clearly, their God didn't make heaven. You understand? Then you can look at everybody else. I mean, hell, the Chinese believe that you're supposed to just sit here for, your entire lifetime, eat the minimum food, drink the minimum water, and just be solely focused on putting your life into nirvana, to the next, what do they call it? Basically just to transcend to the next level of the next life, so that you can come back and be, I don't even have a full understanding of that stupid religion, that stupid faith, that stupid philosophy. I have no ambition to. You know why? Because it's foolish. And not only that, but most importantly, but the Most High God said that that idol, that God is it's an idol. In other words, it's an abomination. You understand? The Most High God hates that. He hates the fact that you would be wasting your life trying to transcend to something that isn't real. He hates the fact when Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans worship something that doesn't give them no power, real power, that doesn't give them anything. All the things that you have in your life. Man, LGBTQ didn't give that to you. You understand? Buddha didn't give that to you. White Jesus ain't give that to you. You understand? Them African booty scratchers with a dish in their lip and their ear, in hell, damn near, I don't know. I feel like they just try to put all sorts of eatware all over their body. Maybe they got a fetish for food being ate off their body. I don't know. Maybe that's what's going on with it. But the Lord, he hates that. Why are you doing that? Why are you destroying your body like that? You understand? Why? What are you doing? It serves no purpose, because mind you as well, them Satan's ass people is over there, taking cow piss baths. You understand? What do the Hindus do? The cows are so doggone sacred to them that if a cow walks into your house, their law in India is that you cannot kick that cow out. That cow has to leave on its own accord. You understand? You can be prosecuted for that in India. Look it up. And in fact, you know what they do? If that cow drops something, drops a number 2 in your living room, you know what they do? They make a tea out of it. They make a tea out of doo-doo, feces, where disease is just ready to mingle. And mind you, it ain't cold tea. It's hot tea, where bacteria and viruses love to spread. You serving things, you going after things that the other nations are doing, that in turn, on a logical and biological level, wastes your life, and makes you end up killing yourself on some level. You understand? When you serve white Jesus, you kill yourself. Understand that. Understand that. Because it's when you serve white Jesus is when you get shot by the police. You understand? You get shot dead by the police. You understand? When you buy into white Jesus, you know, I'm gonna hear what you got to say with white Jesus. You entertain it when you shouldn't. You understand? Don't even white Jesus. No, leave it alone. You entertain that. Look at what happened to the Gadites. You understand? The so-called Native Americans. You understand? They got beguiled by the most subtle beast of the field, the so-called white man, who came over into America with Christianity. You understand? And and look where that got the so-called Native Americans. Because that's what happens to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans when we serve other gods, when we pursue and seek after other gods of other nations. You understand? Our focus needs to only be on, as Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, so-called. And I say so-called because what you really are is the Israelites. You are God's chosen people. You are the greatest people on the face of the earth. You are so great that the rest of the world had to beguile you to make you hate yourself, and in the midst of that, stole your identity. That's how great you are. That you don't even realize how great you are. That everybody else wants to be like you, just don't want to be you. And in fact, they beguiled you so much, you got the same mindset. But you are the greatest. You understand? So like, all right, we're gonna move on from that. All right, we're gonna read that one more time, and then we're gonna move on to the next verse. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 96, verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, pointless. They mean nothing, have no power. You understand? But the Lord made the heavens. Man, y'all ever heard of, y'all ever thought about what nigga heaven is gonna be like? And when you go into the New Testament, you come to find out that it's gonna be so great you can't even fathom it. Think about what you are going through today, where you got to pay for electricity, which can literally be ripped out of out of air. There's electricity in this room, just floating around. There is a way to tap into that air and rip it out. And hey, you got free electricity. You understand? Now, this is something I can fathom. What would be a great, a great kingdom, a great heaven for me to go to. For me to inherit, where I ain't got to pay for something that is that is just natural and renewable. Water, electricity, you understand? If the white man could goddamn tax air, breathable air, he'd do it. You know how he would do it? Because he's selling it to China. You understand? There is somebody who owns a company that takes bottled air and sells it to China, and they're millionaires. You understand? But if there's a way to regulate that, all of us would be getting charged. You understand? 23. So our heaven, a nigga heaven, Black, Hispanic, and Native American. And so when I say nigga, that includes all Blacks, so-called Blacks, all so-called Hispanics, and all so-called Native Americans. You understand? You're all niggas. We're all the same people. You understand? In the eyes of the Lord. That is the truth of the matter. You understand? Which can be found all throughout the Bible. You understand? Oh, this is 23. There we go. Our heaven is something we can't even fathom. Man, you talking about a 9 to 5 that we work today. You think it's gonna be like that in heaven? That's a lot, man. Heaven is when I got the white boy, you know what I'm saying, picking my cotton, making me rich, like how my forefathers made him rich. You understand? And when it's time for him to go, for his people to be cut off, then it's still not gonna be 9 to 5 still ain't gonna be implemented. For what? You think the Lord really created you to work all your life like a slave when you have an earth to rule? That is what he intended you for. You understand? But that's a breakdown for another day. You understand? Let's go into our next verse. The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 3. You understand? This is going side by side with what we just read in the book of Psalms, chapter 96 and verse 5. That very first part. You understand? Where it said that the other nations' gods are idols. You understand? Now let's look at what the Most High God had told Moses in the first place. The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not have any, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So nothing goes before the Most High God. And when you try to put Mother Earth, or you trying to put, Buddha, or whatever Greek, Roman, African, Muslim, what Hindu, what have you. You put any of that before the Most High God, man, you're gonna turn them to rag. It's because that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been doing that time and time again, that the Lord is upset with us. In fact, that's why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are in the condition that we are in right now. You understand? We want to keep on eating what the heathens eat. Pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, all that filthy ass food for that's poor man, just peasant food. You understand? We want to eat that and then wonder why. Oh, we got high blood pressure. We got diabetes issues. We got all sorts of medical issues that comes with eating them foods. Then the funny thing is when diabetes comes up, once high blood pressure comes up, what's the white coat going to tell you? The doctor going to tell you. You need to lay off the pork. But the funny thing is if you would have just kept the Most High God of the Bible first, you would see that he told you not to even touch that food in the first doggone place. You understand? We're going to read on. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. You shall not make any graven image. A dead image. Something that you're trying to worship, that just, you're trying to raise it up to do what? You're trying to raise up the LGBTQ to do what? To make yourself feel better about the abominations that you're doing? It's like I'm kind of going a little bit hard on the LGBTQ, whatever, because I watched that doggone Dr. Phil video that they had going on, right? It was a dude with a beard who identified as they, them, but had a women's attire, but he had full-on beard, long hair. Like, you would think he's a woman with a beard, but it's a dude with a beard, long hair, dressed like a woman. I didn't really look at his chest, but I want to say that he might have had breasts. Maybe not. I really can't recall at the moment, right? Then the crazy funny part, and tell me just how ridiculous this is, right? Then his girlfriend, in reality, in our reality, in the real world, is his girlfriend, right? But in his eyes, in their relationship, it's his boyfriend. He identifies as, or she identifies as he, they, or he, them, or something. It was he and then them. That's what I think it was, right? And the chick was born as a woman and got her breast removed, right? And now identifies as a he, them. So now they just reversed the roles, right? And they did that because LGBT, W, X, Y, and Z empowers them to do that. But what real power are you getting, except for empowering the fact that you're an idiot? And when you try to explain to anybody what the hell gender fluidity and this, that, and the other, you look like an idiot. And in fact, I'm gonna pull a precept. Oh, doggone it. My doggone Salaki, I can't pull it right now. But I'm gonna paraphrase the precept, right? I believe it's in Deuteronomy. It says that if we are blacks, Hispanic, if Israel were to serve the Most High God and follow His law, statutes, and commandments, the other nations will look at us and say, "This is a wise people." You understand? So when we doing things when we're not, we got brotherhood and sisterhood. That's part of the law, statutes, commandments. You understand? We're not eating foods we're not supposed to be eating. You understand? We're not, just to sum it all up so we can move on, because a little short on time. But when we're doing all the things that the Most High God tells us to do, the other nations are gonna look at us like, man, that is a wise and smart and great people. You understand? But yet, can you say the same about the LGBTWFYNG? Can you say that about them when you can't even get past all the different not acronyms, but the what is it called? The identifications of what they are, what and who they are. Like there was one thing that it says Z, it was like XIE, right? But you pronounce it Z, and then underneath that, in their little graph of, identifier for pronouns, there was one that was ZE. So the XIE was Z, and then ZE, and there were two totally different things. Like he and her was supposed to be two totally different things. So was Z and Z. What wisdom are you going to get out of that? Aside from the fact that, oh damn, that's some confused ass, dumb ass people that don't know what the hell they talking about, don't know what the hell that they are. I'm not going to them for advice. Now you just made the fool a wise man because he knows not to go to you for advice, because you don't even know what the hell you are, and you just want everybody else to accept whatever the hell it is that it basically empowers you. You understand? Moving on. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You understand? And that's one thing that so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are doing, is following after the other nations when they're making, like the satanic cults, where they form a devil, some Satan that's all red from head to toe, got the, a little mustache, little, chin thing going on, whatever. It's got a pitchfork with a spaded tail, right? But where is that in the Bible? That's supposed to be the Christian church, the Christian devil, the Christian Satan. But where do you get that description in the Bible? You understand? Or do you even want better? Where do you get the description of that white Jesus that you see in the church? But I can tell you where to go for a description of what Christ actually looked like. Yahweh Shai Mashiach in the Hebrew, or Jesus Christ in the English. You go to Revelation chapter 1, verses 13 through 15. You understand? You actually get a description of him there. So what you're trying to create, and that's part of the reason why we are not to create anything from above or below, and what have you, things that you do not know of. Because you don't know, as a Christian, you don't know, and it's like, if I may, when I say Christian, all right, unless you are in the ISUPK, you are a Christian. You can say, I am a devout Muslim, I'm a devout Buddhist, I am a devout atheist. You are a Christian. Because all of them still have the same interpretation of the Bible. And it's a Christian interpretation. You understand? And if you were to ask an atheist, you know what? I know you don't believe in Jesus, but draw me a picture of Jesus to your best ability. They would draw you a picture of white Jesus because they don't know. You understand? They're drawing things that they don't know. And the Lord, right here in verse 4, he basically saying, man, don't try to make pictures of things that you don't know about or you can't even find out about. You understand? And mind you, because these goddamn white folk, the oppressor is so damn goofy and you want to follow after them, they make it seem like it's impossible to actually know what Christ looked like. When again, you can find it in the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13 to 15. But you want to follow after the goofy that just says, oh, at the end of the day, you might have proven what he looks like, but color don't matter. Them things don't matter. And it's the gospel that matters. Man, get out of here. That's what you want to follow. You know, as we read on, you'll find out what the Lord thinks about those types of people that just must have followed. You understand? We'll read on the next verse. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Damn, I was talking about those that hate him. You understand? Later, Lord allow, we got time. We'll look at how you prove that you love the Most High God. You understand? Not just by going to Christian church and I love Jesus. I proclaim. I'm bathing myself in the blood of Jesus and all that other jibber jabber BS that they be doing in the Christian church. You understand? That's not how you show you love God. We'll go over that though. You understand? Stay tuned. You understand? But one thing I did want to point out, it says, for I the Lord thy God am a jealous God. And that should stand out from what we've already read so far. Man, you want to serve these idols, these pointless graven images, and something that means absolutely nothing. When I did all of this for you, yes, it's going to turn me to wrath. I'm going to have an issue with it. That's what the Lord is saying right there. You understand? You want to serve these pointless, powerless things. We're not even going to say beings, entities, because they don't exist. You understand? Most I got is you just want to follow these powerless ideologies that some goofball came up with. Yeah, man, that's going to turn me to wrath. I'm a jealous guy. You understand? I'm a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. And when you listen, when you start serving them other guys, the Lord gonna deal with you and your children. You understand? You want to figure out, you wonder why you just can't get life to connect. Come up with a great plan that's actually work for other people. It might be simple, but it just won't click for you for some doggone reason. Becky down the street got it to work. You understand? Goddamn Trevor up the street got it to work. Why is it that I can't get it to work? Why is it that I can't do the same exact thing to get me out of the ghettos? You know why? Because you still serving white Jesus. Because you still trying to be a part of Islam. You understand? You still think that, you still trying to take away credit from the Most High God. All the credit that is due to the Most High God. You want to just say, well, it's karma. It's, the stars were aligned. Just the endless goofy things that our people are buying into. And the crazy thing is we're buying into everything and anything, especially right now, at a time that, it's not to be played with. You understand? Bible prophecy is literally unfolding with Russia doing what it's doing, with China doing what it's doing, The only, the next step really is we just waiting for them two to come together and align themselves to push the fight to the West. You understand? Just to push that fight to the West. So, I mean, you playing around for what? What are you playing around for? What are you serving these other guys that have shown time and time again? When have you seen a flood story in another religion that said it was their God that did it? Now, mind you as well, that great flood is recorded by those other nations on the east side of the world. Look it up. You understand? The destruction of Egypt. When are you going, the great things that the Most High God has done for us that you can read out of this Bible? When are you going to take that serious and realize that the Most High God is not somebody to play with? That when are you going to realize that He is a jealous God and you over there dibble dabbling in Christianity because you want to be able to smoke some weed, or you want to be a homosexual, or you just want to do anything and everything that the Lord is against? When are you going to realize that the Lord ain't somebody to play with? He might be preserving you for the very, very end so that you get to experience that thermonuclear war. You understand? And then you're just going to have your eye burnt to the back of your eye sockets. That's what you want? It's a lot of you. For me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. And Lord allow if we get taken up in the chariots when the time comes. You understand? In my house, get salvation. Lord allow. You understand? Because I ain't over here trying to dibble dabble and figure it. Nah, man. The ISUPK, the truth of the Bible, Commander General Yohana, you understand? Undefeated. You cannot debate the truth. You understand? You cannot debate the truth because the truth is going to win every single time. Every single time. You understand? We're going to get some more. Now we're going to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. Right? And it says, wait, did I want to go up? So, give me 1 second. Yeah, we'll read verse 3. We're going to start from verse 3. So, the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 3, right? For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Now, this is talking about the her is Babylon, right? Which modern day Babylon is America. You understand? For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Babylon, or America, Salakia, just look at how America just marries into all the other beliefs, all the other gods. You understand? It's, when a woman has sex with any other man but the man she marries to, this adultery, right? It's fornication. You understand? It's fornication because she's sleeping with all these other men for just pleasure, just to feel good. That's fornication. And mind you as well, it's adultery as well, right? And is become a habitation of devils, right, man? And mind you, the habitation of devils. Who is the majority of America here? The majority population. We know who the minorities are. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You think the Chinese have overtaken American population? You think the Arab has already made his stamp in America? I'll have you know, lie. No. So-called white man. I believe so-called white man is like 73% of the American population, which also lets you know that what the so-called Native Americans were saying when the European colonizers came into America, when they describe them as forked-tongued people, white, pale-skinned devils, that's crazy. You can find that in the Bible, where you can pinpoint even where they live and see that the Bible called them devils too. But of course, Revelation is it's written in Greek, so devil might mean something else. Look up the word, what devil means out of Greek. It means deceiver. Oh, that brings us right back to what the Native Americans said on how the devil is on how they are a fork-tongued people, where they say something straightforward about what they're going to do, but they actually going to do it can go in any other direction. It's going to be something different. You understand? And that's the point. You understand? And this is who you want to follow after. You want to follow after their customs, their beliefs, doing Halloween and birthdays and Christmas, New Year's, things that don't even make sense. You understand? The only thing that I can give vague, very small credit to is you doing a birthday because you say, okay, it's a time of year that, the day that I was born on, X amount of time ago. But not, the Lord will just ask you, who are you to make one day greater than all the others? To give one day importance over all the others? Who are you? You just man. You just a woman. Don't mean nothing. Because you know what? You sit here celebrating it for 70 years and then you die. Then when you regenerate and become the next man or woman, depending on what you are now, that's what you will be in the next life. What you ain't gonna be you ain't gonna be celebrating that same birthday. It's not gonna be a family tradition that is passed down that, hey, June 20th, for the rest of forever, we're always going to celebrate, Uncle, Granddaddy, whatever the hell, his birthday. Man, once that nigga dead, he dead. Because your birthday has no importance. It means nothing. You understand? It's like, where was I at? 18 of the devils. And the hold of every foul spirit and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine. Oh, so like, oh, hold on, so like, I think I just read from the wrong spot. So kings of the earth have committed, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Salakia. Let me read 3 from the top. Salakia. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Those kings, that's like Vladimir Putin. That's whoever the leader is of India, the leaders of Africa, Canada, you understand? All these other leaders where they're just like, you know what? I'm going to go to America and I'm going to live my life, the American dream, so to speak. You understand? They also have those customs, part of those customs where they're at. Because you got to think, even the Chinese don't have the same customs that they had back from Confucius, all the way back to, Wan Chong, Ching Chong, Mana Mana Ling Wang dynasties. You understand? It still evolved. One example of that is, who do you see in their robes anymore when they do business? From the Chinese or the Japanese? You don't see them in their samurai attire or their little robes or whatever. What do you see them in suit and tie? Whose custom is that? So-called white man. You understand? They have taken the customs of our oppressors. You understand? They've come hand in hand with them. You understand? And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich with the abundance of her delicacies. Now, her delicacies is the things that she prophets offer, like Christianity. Oh, anybody can, can partake in this. Man, you don't think they got Christian churches in China? You understand? These other nations, they'll pick up certain customs of America and make them their own so that they can actually benefit. You understand? Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. So it's the Most High, like an angel is telling us, the Most High is telling us, right? Man, come out of her. Come out of Babylon. That doesn't mean physically come out of her. He's saying spiritually, come out of her, where you're not being a homosexual no more, where you're not being a drug addict or a drug dealer anymore. You understand? You're not doing the things that goes against the Most High God anymore, so that you don't partake. What does it say? Partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. Man, we just had COVID. We had a big, them COVID waves and whatnot. They think everything is about to get better. And then, boom, what happens? Now we got war brewing up. And what you think the Ukraine, especially with how Vladimir Putin is talking, you think that's pretty much going to be the end of it with just Ukraine? And if I may, because I still kind of pay attention to that kind of stuff, right? The military movements and stuff. It's our job as a priest and prophet to be watching it, right? So I kind of watch the military movements and what they're doing and why Vladimir Putin is doing what he's doing. Y'all talking about pray for Ukraine. First of all, Ukraine has never prayed for Trayvon Martin or Tamir Rice or George Floyd. You understand? They never did any of that, right? But mind you as well, from Vladimir Putin's perspective, he's saying that America has been lying and beguiling. Everybody's saying that we're gonna keep peace, but yet what they're doing behind the scenes is trying to include the Ukraine into the United Nations, and when that happens, now you're able to have missiles and all sorts of weaponry at the doorstep of my home, and you don't expect me to respond? I don't blame. You know what? I don't blame Vladimir Putin for two reasons. Because I would feel the same exact way if somebody was posted up right outside my house with some guns and a noose and a burning cross. And I would feel the same goddamn way. Man, nah, nigga, I'm retaliating. Like, come on, bro. Get the hell out off my property. I need to do something. You understand? For the protection of my household. And that's what Vladimir Putin said. This is for the protection of my people. You understand? We're taking Ukraine, so you can't do that. You understand? But then the second reason is this Bible prophecy. I don't want this to happen because this Bible prophecy. This is continuing to unfold. And as time goes on, man, Lord allow, and that is Bible prophecy actually, that as time goes on, our brothers and sisters are going to start to realize, you know what? This is what the ISUPK has been saying is coming out and has been saying is in the Bible, and I'm able to see it for myself. I can't dispute it. You understand? You can't dispute what is actually going on, right? Do we have any more on that? And that ye receive not of her plagues. So mind you as well, man, them diseases, COVID is not the end of it. This war that's going on with Russia and the Ukraine, do not be dumb and think that's the end of it. Because you also see that China doing their thing with, pressing Taiwan. And then mind you as well, Vladimir and whatever King Chong Wing Chong said, they basically about to start doing war games together. I mean, hey,
You really think that America can fight on two fronts again against is it a billion man army that China had? Is it a million or billion? Would it be? Whatever. Russia's got they a superpower. China's a superpower. You really think that America can fight two superpowers on two different fronts? Mind you, World War II, America was able to do that as the superpower against. I wouldn't really say that Germany was a superpower. Mind you, as well, America was backed up by the French and the English. You understand? Hell, even the Africans. But the Germans had the Japanese. Come on now. You understand? It's this third world war is biblical prophecy. You understand? These things are going to happen because the Lord said it would. You understand? All right, we're going to drop that. We're going to go look at Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 4. And then you know what? We're going to end it there. I'm going to read this one, break it down, go over it, talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to leave it there and pick up next week. Let me just write that down in my notes. So I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 4. We'll talk about that, and then we're going to end it there. All right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. You understand? This is letting you know, this is, the Most High speaking to Moses. And, after the Exodus, after the great exit of the Israelites leaving Egypt, right? The Lord was telling, Moses to tell them, like, man, hey, those of y'all that cleave unto the Lord, y'all are the ones who are alive right now. Because mind you as well, there was also times shortly after that the Israelites got away from the Egyptians, that we was disobedient to what Moses was telling us to do, which in turn was what the Most High told Moses to tell us. We wanted to argue with Moses, and man, the Most High opened up the earth and swallowed niggas. But the earth killed us. You understand? When all the crazy things are happening, those that live and endure through that or live past that is because they endured whatever the Lord had commanded them to do. You understand? They endured through all the temptations. Like, you know what, man? Most High just delivered me from this abomination, not abomination, from this life where I was lost, where I was depressed, where I was depressed and oppressed. You understand? Where my life sucked, and then the Lord showed me that there is a better way. And so, you know what? I'm a follow this. And then in the midst of that, you following the Most High, you are being obedient to the Most High, and you watching all your disobedient brothers and sisters being killed off by the Lord. Man, ain't gonna be me. I'm not trying to have that be me. And I'm not trying to make necessarily light of our brothers and sisters being killed by the Most High. But we are to learn from our brothers and sisters not to get caught up like they do or how they did. You understand? Because it could cost you your life. The Lord might have mercy on you, but how long do you think that mercy is going to be? You understand? One really big thing that the Christian church just clings on to, loves to just yell and talk about, is we are all in grace. Why is it that when you talk about God, grace is different than when you talk about the grace period for bills? Think about that. When throughout the Bible, it talks about how we are to, get ourselves right, learn the law, statutes, commandments, come back to the Lord, is what it says. Come back to the Lord, find our way, learn who we are, and shed ourselves of the world, right? Hell, even Christ said that he chose you out of the world, right? So that means that you have to take it. There has to be a time period of you shedding all your worldly ways. You understand? Smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, doing drugs, selling drugs. You understand? Being getting off that pole, putting females on the pole. You understand? The whole shebang. So like it. There's got to be a time period for that, right? That's your grace period. You hear the truth, you learn about it, you start learning about it. Oh, damn, you know what? I need to change my life. I need to, flip it around or turn it over. You need a grace period for that, because you're not going to just be a man of God or a woman of righteousness overnight. Just because this is the first time that you hear a class and you're like, oh damn, and you know what? This changed my life. You know what? Boom, I'm doing everything. No, everything's gonna take some time for you to knock. You understand? A grace period. Why, when you talk about God, when we are under grace with the Most High God, why does that mean eternity? So that means that you just allowed to be a homosexual, be all the drug dealer and murderer and thief and all the things that are abominable to the Most High God. You could be that all you want because Christ is not here. But you do realize that your due date to pay that bill, that light bill, is when that due date is when Christ does return. And if you haven't paid that bill or got yourself right, and not get yourself right in your eyes or to what they think is right, if you don't get yourself right according to the Most High God, man, you're gonna end up just like everybody else, destroyed. You understand? That is your due date to pay that light bill. I pray that y'all understand. I pray that y'all take these things seriously. You understand? Again, like I said, Salakia, we were short on time. We started late. We had some bad technical difficulties, man. Get this, this sorted out. Again, this is the ISUPK in Las Vegas under Commander General Yohana. You understand? I'm a precinct officer at 50 on Rock. And with that, class dismissed.